Fox
The pursuit
7.
for truth and justice for Greg Kelley is the subject of the documentary film Outcry. The 5-part Showtime series focuses on the football player's support and questions the investigation that would lead to Kelley being sentenced to 25 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Director Pat Condellis joins us this morning to talk about it. Good morning, Pat. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. By now, most of our viewers should probably be familiar with Greg Kelley's story, but in case they aren't, I want to do a quick recap. In 2013, Kelley is then 17 years old. He's a Leander High School senior football star. At that point, he's arrested, charged, and sentenced for sexually assaulting a 4-year-old boy. This past November, 2019, a district judge declared him innocent. So at what point in the documentary do you pick up Greg's story?
So we picked up the story when Greg Kelley was in prison. We picked it up, actually. We began filming in 2017. Before there was really any mention of a potential writ hearing, there wasn't a whole lot actually going on that we knew of at that time in the case, although there had been some developments behind the scenes that we were not yet aware of when we began this. So he was in jail, and we really didn't know what was going to happen with the case. And that sparked a 3-year process that led to this 5-episode documentary on Showtime.
What brought you to the project?
Well, you know, it was actually, I missed most of the coverage when the case happened because I was working on a documentary project that had me out in Colorado for about a year and a half to 2 years. So I missed the initial arrest and then the coverage of the trial. So I came into it kind of fresh in that sense. And I had a friend of a friend kind of said, look, you need to look into this case. There's something here. And it took a while for us to get to that point. And I would say I met with Greg's family, met with his attorney, and probably when I first spoke to Keith Hampton and he could answer some of the very specific legal questions that I had, that's when I got to the point with this story where I could not stop thinking about it. And at that point, we decided to move forward.
There are many sides to this story. I mean, we all know how it ends because he has been declared innocent then, and Greg is trying to move on with his life as much as he can. But were you able to get other people to speak to you on camera besides Greg's family, as well as the attorney and Greg himself? And what about the police chief?
We were, yeah. Police Chief Sean Maddox sat down and did an extended interview for this documentary. The investigator, the detective in the case, would not speak on camera. And then the district attorney in Williamson County, Sean Dick, was incredibly cooperative and transparent throughout the entire process. And really, everybody was in Williamson County. All of the officials, the judges, everybody there that we dealt with throughout this 3-year process was shockingly transparent and open and welcoming, which was fantastic because we set a goal out here to cover the story from all sides. There was some people, unfortunately, that wouldn't participate, but you're always going to have something like that in a story as controversial as this. Yeah,
and I mean, which is probably leads me to my next question, is it sounds like the victim's family, because the victims are minors, would not speak with you. Did they respond to any? Were you even able to know who they were?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I reached out to the parents of both of the accusers from the original trial multiple times, and I never got anything back. I spoke with an intermediary who told me that they were getting the messages, but they weren't comfortable speaking, which I completely understand. Mm-hmm. But we reached out to everybody in this case from all different sides. And to your point earlier, everybody here kind of locally knows what the ending is, but they really don't know what happened behind the scenes. And this 5 hours, we'll get to see what was going on, which is shocking.
And let me see, it premieres Sunday, July 5th on Showtime. 3 years behind the scenes. Are you still in touch with Greg?
I am, yeah. Yeah, I'm still everybody that participated in this, I've stayed in contact with and I've spoken to recently. So yeah, no, it was when you're doing a case like this, that's this emotional and impacts so many different people in so many different ways. Yeah, it becomes a sort of kind of odd shared experience going through this. So now there was lots of conversations that go on a daily basis with just about everybody that participated.
Oh, a 5-part docuseries called Outcry. It is the story of Greg Kelley, and it premieres on Sunday on Showtime. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you, Pat. Much luck with this.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.